Good evening. It's Tuesday, May 19th, 2020. I'm speaking to you from the heart of Johnson County here in downtown Smithfield. I'm at First Presbyterian Church, and I'm Joe, and I'm glad I can be with you this evening to share in this reflection from Scripture and just a few insights that we might share with one another tonight as we gather. Yesterday, I used a mixed idiom that I had learned from my youth that someone had taught me where they really mangled several sayings, but it was something about working hard and involved staying clean, keeping my nose to the grindstone, and just doing a good job. And I realized that the way he had said it stuck with me through the years, even though he had mixed three different things together. But it still, after 30 odd years, has remained with me. That bit of wisdom. And mixing our metaphors, mixing our cliches is pretty common in our culture. I have a sneaking suspicion those who have jobs in churches like I do find themselves doing it all the time because they're constantly having to disentangle the mixed messages that are sent, the miscommunications, things that are not understood or things that were sent and said, and we are victim to it ourselves at times. Lawrence Harrison, a writer for the Washington Post in an op-ed piece back in 1976, created a word, malaphor, to describe that, when we mix our idioms or mix our sayings together. And the truth is that oftentimes, even when people mix things up or they miscommunicate or they choose the wrong word or they choose even the wrong way of saying it, we have a feeling for their real intent. It's a very strange thing that even in translation, the translators of the King James English Bible, which is well revered in the culture I grew up here in Eastern North Carolina, red letter edition, one I read from as a child, that one of the greatest mistakes, and this is hard for people to realize, was in the English translation creation of the word Jehovah. And what happened, the translators, just to put it very simply, they had taken the Hebrew name for the great I am, which are the letters Y, H, W, and H, combined it with Elohim, another Hebrew word as a way of naming God, and they made up a word that the Jewish writers and Hebrew speakers had never used called Jehovah. Now, I don't know about you, but Guide Me, O Thou Great Jehovah is one of my favorite hymns, and mistaken translation or not, I love to sing that song when I have the opportunity, at least along with the choir and the rest of the church. It's a beloved anthem of Welsh rugby and football fans when they begin a game in their culture. I can't imagine asking them to give it up because they're a pretty rowdy crowd. But nonetheless, I trust that God is able to come to us. The messages that God has to offer us is even through our mistakes and our trudging through the muck and the mud, the message is able to get through to us if we will be present and listen. Many bits of wisdom that are passed down to us, including Scripture, do get mangled by the translators and even the preachers or teachers as we try to do it. And I confess to you, that is a pretty humbling experience. But just as I believe our Maker can make sense of what we ourselves are stuttering and stumbling through, I believe the Spirit helps us to make sense of what we read from Scripture. Solomon's wisdom is probably the best known of the Old Testament, what is the Hebrew Bible for the Jewish community. In the last book, or one of the last chapters of Proverbs, King Hezekiah had his scribes preserved remnants attributed to Solomon because they were considered so important to say for the community. And in these days of pandemic, using the translation from Eugene Peterson, I've actually found, almost in a light, humorous way, Proverbs has a new wisdom to impart to us in an almost humorous vein. And so using this translation, I want to share these words with you tonight as part of our reflection. The 25th chapter of Proverbs. There are also these Proverbs of Solomon collected by scribes of Hezekiah, king of Judah. God delights in concealing things. Scientists delight in discovering things. Like the horizons for breadth and the ocean for depth, the understanding of a good leader is broad and deep. Remove impurities from the silver, and the silversmith can craft a fine chalice. Remove the wicked from leadership, and authority will be credible and God-honoring. Don't work yourself into the spotlight. Don't push your way into the place of prominence. It's better to be promoted to a place of honor than face humiliation by being demoted. Don't jump to conclusions. There may be a perfectly good explanation for what you just saw. In the heat of an argument, don't betray confidences. Word is sure to get around, and no one will trust you. The right word at the right time is like a custom-made piece of jewelry, and a wise friend's timely reprimand is like a gold ring slipped on your finger. Reliable friends who do what they say are like cool drinks in sweltering heat, refreshing, like billowing clouds that bring no rain, is the person who talks big but never produces. Patient persistence pierces through indifference. Gentle speech breaks down rigid defenses. When you're given a box of candy, don't gulp it all down. Eat too much chocolate and you'll make yourself sick. And when you find a friend, don't outwear your welcome. Show up at all hours, and he'll soon get fed up. Anyone who tells lies against their neighbors in court or on the street is a loose cannon. Trusting a double-crosser when you're in trouble is like biting down on an abscessed tooth. Singing light songs to the heavy-hearted is like pouring salt in their wounds. If you see your enemy hungry, go buy him lunch. If he's thirsty, buy him a drink. Your generosity will surprise him with goodness, and God will look after you. A north wind brings stormy weather, and a gossipy tongue, stormy looks. Better to live alone in a tumble-down shack than share a mansion with a nagging spouse. Like a cool drink of water when you're worn out and weary is a letter from a long-lost friend. A good person who gives in to a bad person is a muddied spring, a polluted well. It's not too smart to stuff yourself with sweets, nor is glory piled on glory good for you. A person without self-control is like a house with its doors and windows knocked out. Please join me in prayer. This is from Kathy Galloway in the Iona community in Scotland. The sky does it simply, naturally, day by day. The sun does it joyfully, like someone in love, like a runner on the starting line. The sky, the sun, they just can't help themselves. No loud voices, no grand speeches, but everyone sees and is happy with them. Make us like that, Lord, so that our faith is not in our words, but in our lives, not in what we say, but in who we are, passing on your love like an infectious laugh, not worried, not threatening, just shining like the sun, like a starry night, like a lamp on a stand, light for life, your light for our lives. Amen. May the light and love of Christ fill our beings, and may the peace of God be with you all. Good night.